On graduation day, the campus belle gave me for million yuan. She wanted me to be her contract husband for 3 years. But 3 years made me forget the agreement between us. Today, half asleep and half awake, I climbed into her bed, but she kicked me away. Bastard! Do not touch me. Under that torment of body and soul, I endured 2,000 days and nights. Today, I finally could not take it anymore. Xiao Nuan. Let us get divorced. The breakfast had been peaceful, but my words froze the room in an instant. Have you thought this through? If you ask for divorce, you owe me for million yuan. If you cannot pay me for million yuan, I will send you back to prison. There was a hint of threat in Xiao Nuan's voice. She still did not want a divorce. 3 years had made her used to having a man named Ziyi by her side. I smiled and nodded. Let us divorce. It would be bad to wait until he came back. For these 3 years, thank you for taking care of me. The 4 million yuan I owe you, I will find a way to repay within a year. Are you free today? Let us handle the divorce paperwork this afternoon. Xiao Nuan's pride gave me no second chance. And we did not even wait until afternoon. 10 minutes after the Civil Affairs Bureau opened, we walked back out. Xiao Nuan did not even look at me. She drove away. I was left outside the entrance, my eyes filled with bitterness. She had not driven to 100 meters before a call made her pull over. The moment the call connected, a voice both familiar and strange came through. Xiao Nuan, why did he answer your phone last night? I was so happy and wanted to tell you that I was coming back to China soon. But after I said it, he was the one who told me he understood. Did the two of you already? Do Ziteng. Clean up the filthy thoughts in your head. I left my phone downstairs last night. Anything else? I am busy. After hearing another woman's voice on the line, Xiao Nuan quickly hung up. She suddenly felt she must have lost her mind before. How had she ever liked such a lecherous man? Between the divorce and being disgusted by Du Ziteng, Xiao Nuan could not bring herself to go to work. Vice President Wen, who never skipped work without cause, mysteriously skipped work. She drove back to the Wen family home. When Nuan pushed straight into the bedroom, Chen Nuanqiu had not even gotten out of bed yet. She tilted her head and looked at her precious daughter. Then when Nuan threw her arms around her, Mom, Ziyi and I got divorced. At 11 o'clock in the Wen family home, Xiao Nuan was forced to sit on the sofa and face her parents' interrogation. Old Wen had always spoiled his child, but today, he did not protect his daughter. He let his precious girl be lectured. Little Wen Nuan, you truly do not know what is good for you. You kept bullying Ziyi. I will let that part go. But how could you get divorced? These past few years, your career has been smooth sailing. Who was helping you from behind the scenes? That work of yours. Which part was not done by Ziyi for you late at night? At home, he took care of every part of your daily life. It wasted all of Ziyi's talent. Every day, he made your breakfast and dinner. He ran your bathwater. Ziyi even washed your underwear. And who was it who told me last time? It was wonderful having a man at home. Now you tell me you are divorced. HMPH. Ziyi must have been cursed with the worst luck imaginable to have ended up with someone like you. After being scolded, Xiao Nuan felt her pride sting. She straightened her back and argued back. Am I your daughter? Or is Ziyi? Let me tell you, Ziyi was the one who asked for the divorce. Your daughter was the one who got dumped. Hearing that, Old One immediately lost his temper. He grabbed his phone, shouting that he would question that brat. Wenxu's daughter. How was she not good enough for that little bastard? But before he could dial, Chen Nuanqiu snapped at him. You still have the nerve to call Ziyi. Aren't you afraid he will simply say, Xiao Nuan has another man in her heart. Isn't she just waiting for that Du family brat to come back? Do you think I do not know? Or that Ziyi does not know? Xiao Nuan, listen to me. If you dare get together with that Du family brat, I will take back every share in your hands. Then we will see that Du brat kick you aside. Those shares belong to Dad. HMPH. Ask your father if he dares give them to you. Old Wen. Want to practice some military combat boxing? Chen Nuanqiu shot when she would glare. This time, he stood with his wife. Then he frowned and said softly to Xiao Nuan, I agree with your mother. We will not agree to you being with Du Ziteng. Xiao Nuan lifted her head. She looked at her parents with fury in her eyes. Through gritted teeth, she snapped. Ziyi is the one who does not want your daughter now. It is not that I do not want Ziyi. Last night, Ziteng called and said he was coming back to China. He said he would marry me when he returned. Ziyi answered the call. This morning, he asked for a divorce. What is the point of blaming me? If Ziyi is so wonderful, go find Ziyi. Faced with Xiao Nuan's defiance, Chen Nuanqiu clearly did not take it seriously. She looked at her own daughter with mocking eyes. Do you think those little tricks of yours can fool your own mother? Ziteng is coming back, is he? Starting tomorrow, I will sell your house for half price. Since you are divorced, move back home. If you dare come home after 9 at night, I will break your legs. If you want a date in the future, anyone else is fine, but not Ziteng. I am making myself clear today. You are not going anywhere today either. I am going to find Ziyi now and ask him exactly why he wanted a divorce. Xiao Nuan, you had better hope Ziyi does not tell me the truth. With that, Chen Nuanqiu stood up. She gave Old Wen a threatening look. If he dared let Wen Nuan leave the house, he could forget having a peaceful life. Coming from the military, Chen Nuanqiu never spoke in circles, nor would she coax Xiao Nuan with gentle words. Old Wen already played that role. If she did not stay firm, no one in this family could control that girl. Chen Nuanqiu went back to her room and took out a property ownership certificate. She glared at Xiao Nuan. Stay home and behave, or I'll have your second uncle send troops to drag you back. I am selling the house today. Then I am going to find Ziyi. After that, do whatever you want. I was the one you picked up. Go find your precious son Ziyi. Chen Nuanqiu ignored Wen Nuan. She opened the front door and strode out. At that moment, I was wandering the street, not knowing where to go. Suddenly, the antique phone in my hand rang. Seeing the words mother-in-law on the screen, sweat instantly rolled down my forehead. Trembling, I answered the call. Hello. Hello. You little bastard. Have I been too nice to you? Say hello one more time and see what happens. I will call the army right now and have you finish off. Mom, I was wrong. That is more like it. It is noon. You have not eaten yet, have you? I am waiting for you at Baking Kitchen. I want to ask about your divorce from Xiao Nuan. I am giving you 10 minutes. If you dare not show up, I know. If I dare not go, you will send the army to drag me in. 10 minutes. I will be there. The summer noon heat was brutal. Unable to get a taxi, I jogged the whole way. When I entered the private room, my mother-in-law had just taken out her phone, as if she were about to make a call. Chen Nuanqiu looked at me, panting for breath. She gave a faint nod. Not bad. Even after the divorce, you still take me, your mother-in-law, seriously. Tell me why you divorced Wen Nuan. Think carefully before you answer. Otherwise, I really might beat you to death. Seeing that, I could only lie and say I had a problem in that area. I said I could not have children. Come on. We are going to the hospital. I will call Xiao Nuan right now and have her come with us. Against my mother-in-law, I had no tricks at all. There was no way I could go to the hospital. If my mother-in-law found out I was lying, I would truly be dead. I sighed. Then I sat down and said quietly, my marriage to Xiao Nuan was only a transaction. Back then, I was desperate. My mother needed 400,000 yuan for surgery. I had no other choice. I could only beg Xiao Nuan to save me. The reason we got married was also because she had leverage over me. I helped her deal with you to elders. Now the contract term is over. I cannot keep holding Xiao Nuan back. There was no helping it. Trying to be clever in front of my mother-in-law would only get me killed worse. I could only confess honestly. Only, while confessing, I took all the blame onto myself. But my mother-in-law's attention did not seem to be on our contract marriage. Instead, she frowned and questioned me. Am I very old? No. You are not old at all. You missed one word. Mom, you are not old at all. Heh. People outside say you and Xiao Nuan look like sisters. Chen Nuanqiu was satisfied. Then she said, a contract marriage. I can treat these 3 years as the two of you dating. Xiao Nuan does have plenty of flaws. She is clearly messy, yet she keeps claiming she is a neat freak. She has no life skills at all. Aside from a good education and decent looks, she has no other strengths. Are you saying you do not like Xiao Nuan at all? After several years, even if there were a dog by your side, you would have feelings for it, right? I am not saying you are the dog. I mean Xiao Nuan. My fierce mother-in-law kept the sweat pouring down my forehead. Wiping my sweat, I said softly, you know my background. If she had not had leverage over me in this lifetime, a girl like Xiao Nuan would never have even spoken to me. Marriage still needs a proper match in family background and status. Even if I like Xiao Nuan, it is useless. She likes someone else. That little bastard from the Du family. That Du Ziteng. Isn't he only after the Changxiang group shares in Xiao Nuan's hands? Only a fool like Xiao Nuan would think her dear brother Ziteng truly likes her. You wanted a divorce, yet you did not tell Mom. What are we supposed to do now? Once Du Ziteng comes back, that fool Xiao Nuan will rush to him like a moth to a flame. Are we supposed to hand old Wen's lifetime of work over to the Du family? I really regret not having a son. I truly did not dare respond to that. Nodding would be wrong. Shaking my head would be wrong too. Luckily, Chen Nuanqiu did not make things too hard for me. She took 100,000 yuan from her bag and tossed it to me. If you are divorced, then you are divorced. I, Chen Nuanqiu, am not some rigid old traditionalist. For these 3 years, you called me Mom. Now, even if you are no longer my son-in-law, you still count as half a son to me. Xiao Nuan is petty. If you still have even 10,000 yuan on you, then I, Chen Nuanqiu, have lived all these years for nothing. Take this, and use it for now. Do not even think about leaving the city. If anything happens to old Wen and me in the future, we will still need you to come help. If you dare refuse, I will have the army finish you off. No. I will not refuse. I will not refuse. Once you take someone's money, you owe them. And this was no small amount. But I really did not dare refuse. My mother-in-law's ferocity was something I had understood for a long time. During the meal, Chen Nuanqiu suddenly spoke. When Nuan can command respect at Changxiang now, I nodded while shoveling rice into my mouth. The more Chen Nuanqiu looked at me, her son-in-law, the more pleased she seemed. Handsome, a perfect match for Wen Nuan, and talented too. She narrowed her eyes at me and said with a smile, "Do you want to return to Changxiang Group? I can have old Wen make you head of the planning department." I gave a bitter smile and shook my head. Mom, stop joking. If I go back to Changxiang, when Nuan will think I am chasing after her nonstop. Since we are divorced, we should keep some distance. Besides, the employees at Changxiang do not know about my relationship with Xiao Nuan. But the executives have seen me, and that man is coming back. No matter what, I am Wen Nuan's ex-husband. Watching my ex-wife walk beside another man would make me uncomfortable no matter what. So, please spare my miserable life. Will you? Chen Nuanqiu's expression clearly showed some disappointment. She sighed softly. All that pride in your bones was spent on standing firm against us. Yet you did not leave even a bit of it for that silly little fool Xiao Nuan. She is still foolish enough to think all your ability came from her teaching. Since you insist on this, I will not make it hard for you. But now that you and Xiao Nuan are divorced, do not rush into another marriage. If you meet a girl you like, tell Mom. If gentle methods do not work, we will throw money at her until they do. I will not be dating anytime soon. First, I need to deal with my troubles. Then I will buy a place in the city. After that, I will think about romance. You should go play mahjong. That is already Annie Zhao's 4th call. As I spoke, Chen Nuanqiu's phone rang. Chen Nuanqiu answered it. The moment she spoke, she started cursing. Rush, rush, rush. Are you trying to rush me to my grave? I am having a meal with my son-in-law. And you people keep hurrying me like this. Just you wait. I am coming over to win your money. Is Xiao Yi beside you? Bring him with you. Let this older sister dote on him properly. HMPH, Xiao Yi is an excellent cook. Hey, shameless woman. Do not seduce my son-in-law. There are plenty of men outside. Zuyi, your Annie Zhao is asking if you are coming. No, Annie Zhao. I still have things to do this afternoon. I need to buy groceries for Xiao Nuan. As soon as I said that, I suddenly froze. So, habits really do take root. On the phone, that so-called refined older sister gritted her teeth and snapped. HMPH, Chen Nuanqiu. Get over here and face your doom. My ferocious mother-in-law left. She drove off in a very low-key Audi A6. Back on the street again, my face was bitter. Then I clenched my fist. A new life was about to begin. Time to buy cigarettes. I had a fairly optimistic mindset. After buying a pack of cigarettes, I went to an agency to look for a place. In the end, I chose one on the pricier side, a top-floor duplex. A $4 million Yuan debt could not be repaid just by living frugally. If I wanted to repay that debt, cutting expenses alone would never be enough. Meanwhile, Xiao Nuan was already on the verge of breaking down. The house had been sold. My mother-in-law casually told Xiao Nuan that she had lost the house to Annie Zhao while playing mahjong. If she had any complaints, she could go find that Zhao woman. As for this Annie Zhao, who had forced her since childhood to call her older sister, when Nuan had always believed in keeping a respectful distance, that elder, old enough to know better, would chase after her and ask how my stamina was. That left the inexperienced Wen Nuan with no idea how to answer. In that regard, Wen Nuan was as innocent as a blank sheet of paper. At that moment, when Nuan sat beside the bed, staring blankly, did she really like Du Ziteng, or had she only treated him as an emotional crutch? He had been abroad for years. In truth, time had already washed everything thin. Back when she had just gotten married, one overseas call could last deep into the night. As time passed, those late-night calls shrank to 1 hour. In the end, she would hang up just because I called out that dinner was ready. And during those few days each month when she felt worst, I would get up early to make her a bowl of fish head and tofu soup, or maybe pork rib soup. Sometimes I prepared ginger and goji berry water in a thermos and made her take it to the office. For a moment, Xiao Nuan felt lost. Du Ziteng's image in her mind grew more and more blurred. Instead, my face became clearer and clearer. When Nuan could not bear that. She was the one I had dumped. Under those circumstances, she would not allow herself to still be thinking about this man. Feeling like she was about to fall apart, Xiao Nuan grabbed her keys and phone and rushed out the door. In the bar, Xiao Nuan looked around at the unfamiliar place. She had gathered her courage and walked into a place she had never visited before. A place she resisted with all her heart, but she needed to vent. The more Xiao Nuan drank, the angrier she became. How could she be so pathetic as to think of that guy Zi? Aside from cooking well, keeping the room tidy, washing clothes well, being a little smart, and looking a little handsome, what other good points did he have? Most importantly, that guy had actually dared to ask for a divorce and dump me. When Nuan, the already drunk Xiao Nuan, did not notice that Du Ziteng had no place in her mind at all. She was drunk less on wine than on her own feelings. Hello, beautiful. Could you give me a chance to buy you a drink? She could no longer remember how many men had come over to hit on her. Xiao Nuan only wanted to drink quietly by herself for a while. She turned and glanced over at the man, about 41, dressed head to toe in designer brands. Xiao Nuan frowned and asked, I make a 6-figure annual salary. I own a watch worth over 1 million yuan. My family has a deputy department level relative. Do I look like I need a drink from you? The middle-aged man smiled. Then he turned and left. From her tone, he could tell this woman was not asking him a question. She was telling him that she already had everything he was trying to offer. Just as Xiao Nuan was about to get up and leave, another young man came over to hit on her. Come on, give me some face. My friends over there are watching. Come have a drink with us. It is lonely drinking by yourself. Heh. Big sister, your legs are gorgeous. You don't mind if your little brother touches them, do you? Get lost. When Nuan took the wine in her glass and splashed it across the young thug's face, the middle-aged man in the distance, who had been about to leave, turned back. He sat down not far away. He seemed to be waiting for a chance to play the hero and rescue the damsel. The young man, utterly humiliated, stopped pretending. Through gritted teeth, he cursed, bitch. Then he raised his hand to get violent, but his hand never came down. Someone caught his wrist. A chubby guy had appeared beside him. Shenzhen, starting trouble here. Do you want to be carried out? Not everyone is someone you can touch. Got it. Shenzhen's friends in the distance also noticed something was wrong. One after another, they stood and came over. But the chubby young man did not even glance at them. After grabbing Shenzhen's arm and shoving him aside, he smiled gently at Xiao Nuan and said, Sister-in-law, why did you come here by yourself? By then, Xiao Nuan was already drunk. She looked at the chubby young man before her with dazed eyes. Tilting her head, she asked curiously, Ziyi's younger brother? Sworn brother. My surname is Sun. Just call me Fubao. This bar is co-owned by my uncle by marriage's sister and someone else. I am here a lot. Sister-in-law, did you drive here? It is not safe this late. If these bastards try something dirty, that would be bad. I already called Brother Yi just now. He should be here soon. Ziyi is coming? Xiao Nuan did not know why she suddenly panicked. Unsteady on her feet, she tried to leave the bar. Why was it that the less she wanted to see this guy, the more she could not escape being tied to him? Xiao Nuan wanted to leave. Shenzhen's people were not about to allow that. They shouted that she owed them an explanation. Sun Fubao frowned. He grabbed a chair, pointed it at the troublemakers, and cursed angrily. Do not push your luck, any of you. Do you really think I would not touch you? Was I? Go upstairs and tell them to stop playing. Someone wants to cause trouble here. My sister-in-law's family has connections high up. So, do not even think about making trouble. People who have to split the bill at a bar cannot afford this kind of mess. The group realized they had picked the wrong fight. Fear crept into their hearts. They slunk away in defeat. The middle-aged man in the distance saw there was no chance left to play the hero and rescue the damsel. He looked a little disappointed, but he was in no hurry to leave. He wanted to see who the man behind this lily-like beauty was. As Xiao Nuan stumbled along, just about to walk out of the bar, she crashed straight into someone coming in. He scooped Xiao Nuan up in a princess carry. He swept Xiao Nuan into his arms. Sun Fubao grinned and turned to leave the bar. The onlookers understood too. Her man had arrived. You drank, and you still drove here. If Fubao had not found you, were you going to drive yourself back? And you came to a place like this. If Fubao had not been here today, have you thought about what might have happened to you? What good is covering your face now? Xiao Nuan, held in my arms in a princess carry, covered her face with both hands. She did not want me to see how she looked. I was too tired to keep scolding her. I turned to leave the bar, but the moment we stepped outside, the wind hit Xiao Nuan, and she threw up all over me. In that instant, I nearly broke down. Through gritted teeth, I snapped. I really should take you to Mom right now and let her know that right after we divorced, you came to a bar to drink yourself senseless. Give me your car keys. Xiao Nuan looked at me in a daze. Struggling, she shouted. She is my mom, not yours. Then I will take you back to your mom's place. I do not have the house key. Xiao Nuan, were you never planning to go home? I was truly getting angry. Xiao Nuan hid in my arms. She looked like a child who had done something wrong. Before long, I heard her choking back sobs. Zuyi, I do not have a home anymore. My mom sold my house. There was nothing else I could do. I could only take her back to the place I had just rented. After sleeping on the sofa all night, I woke up aching all over. What hurt more was seeing my brand new bedding taken over before I had even used it. I was woken by a phone. It was not even dawn yet. Xiao Nuan's phone kept ringing nonstop. Still half asleep, I picked it up and answered. Chen Nuanqiu's thunderous roar of a scolding instantly blasted through the line, along with a very affectionate greeting. Just wait until you get back, you little brat. I will skin you alive. I just told you not to stay out all night, and you dared break the rule on the very first day. When Chen Nuanqiu's furious roar finally ended, I said quietly, Mom, it is Zuyi. Xiao Nuan is with me. The call was cut off instantly. I stared blankly at the phone in my hand. Then a text message came in. Old Wen, and I have gone on vacation. Let Xiao Nuan stay with you. That way I can relax. If you dare call me, I will serve you a round of army combat drills. I stared at the phone in confusion. Was my mother-in-law not worried about Xiao Nuan at all? Then again, maybe there was nothing to worry about. We had lived together for 3 years, after all. While I was still lost in confusion, Xiao Nuan silently came up behind me, checking my phone. Back when we were not divorced, I never saw you checking mine. You never asked when I was on the phone with Ziteng either. Why start checking phones after the divorce? Want me to help? I turned and looked at Xiao Nuan, who had not even washed her face. Closing my eyes, I took a deep breath. Xiao Nuan, if you dare drink again, I will absolutely tell Mom. I am hungry. Xiao Nuan deliberately avoided the subject of drinking. She took the phone, opened the blacklist right in front of me, and there, unmistakably, was Ziteng's number. Then she tossed the phone onto the sofa. She got up and skipped off to the bathroom to wash up. Watching Xiao Nuan's back, I felt strangely unsettled. It had been less than a day since the divorce, and we were about to live together again. Listening to the little humming sounds from the bathroom, I stood and walked into the kitchen. As I made breakfast, I passed along my mother-in-law's message. Mom and Old Wen went on vacation. She said they took the house keys with them. Mom told you to stay here with me. I do not mind. It is not like we have never lived together. Zuyi, hurry up. I have to go to work today. Hearing that shameless line, I nearly carried the pan into the bathroom to fight Nuan to the death. What kind of situation was this? The marriage was over. The contract had been broken. I was saddled with a 4 million yuan debt. And now we were living together again. My heart told me to resist. I took a deep breath. Hurry up and wash. I need to wash up and head out too. I have an interview for a new job today. As soon as I said that, Nuan poked half her head out of the bathroom. She asked in confusion, Zuyi, after we got back last night, you even washed my clothes clean for me. Heh. Why do you not just stop working? You can be my nanny instead. No. Watching my ex-wife get all lovey-dovey with her old flame. Even if ours was a contract marriage, I still need some dignity as a man. Old flame. You mean Du Ziteng? Ziyi, you are jealous, aren't you? Ziyi, do you like me? I said nothing. Nuan kept pressing me. Helpless, I carried breakfast out of the kitchen. Ziyi, as long as you say you are jealous, I will not choose Du Ziteng. I am jealous. But right now, you need to eat breakfast. Understand? There was also one deeply unfortunate thing for me. I had to start taking care of your daily life again. That is your honor. Ziyi, you have no idea. Last night at the bar, so many people tried to hit on me. Eat. Neither of us noticed one thing. A very important thing. After the divorce, the way we got along had changed. I was no longer carefully deferential toward Nuan, and Nuan no longer treated me like a nanny. She was afraid I would keep asking about the bar. At the same time, when she heard me say I was jealous, her mood brightened. All the gloom vanished. She did not resist staying here either. Meanwhile, my heart was wailing. I was worse off than the most miserable man alive, but I still had to repay the 4 million yuan. During breakfast, I received a reply from Rongyao Group. They told me I could come to the company for a meeting today if I had time. After that, I made my unsteady way over to Rongyao Group headquarters. Just as I was about to stride forward and face a new challenge, a bright red Ford Raptor brushed past the tip of my nose and shot across right in front of me. My hard-won confidence vanished in a flash of fear. By the time I came back to myself, the Ford Raptor had already stopped in the distance. A woman got out. She wore a black bodycon skirt. On her feet were high heels about 7 or 8 centimeters tall. Her figure was incredibly striking. Her outfit was bold, but in my eyes, that woman was the culprit who had nearly killed me. Before I could go up and confront her, the curvy woman broke into a quick trot and disappeared through Rongyao Group's entrance. I rubbed my chin. Inwardly, I muttered to myself, that woman does not look like a good person. Inside the interview office of Rongyao Group's Human Resources Department, I sat in a chair. Across from me were 3 interviewers, 2 men and 1 woman. The feeling reminded me of being questioned at the police station. The female interviewer sitting in the middle spoke first. Let me introduce myself first. My surname is Zhao. I am the manager of the Human Resources Department. I will ask you questions to learn more about you. These 2 will evaluate your answers and experience. Then we will decide whether you and the company can work together. At Rongyao Group, all staff in the company are cooperation partners. There is no simple employer-employee relationship. Also, compared with other groups, Rongyao Group is a little more humane. Now I will first explain the company's policies to you. Then you can decide whether to continue the interview. Manager Zhao's expression was gentle. There was no condescension in her words either. That made me feel very comfortable. After learning about the company's policies, I said I could accept them. Manager Zhao smiled with narrowed eyes. Compared with Chengxiang Group, we at Rongyao treat our staff more humanely. Coming to work is not like signing yourself into bondage. Now I will begin asking you questions. While you are deciding whether you are satisfied with us, we also need to be satisfied with you. First, please introduce yourself. I answered with a smile and said softly, Zuyi, Han Chinese, 25, divorced. I have 3 years of experience in Chengxiang Group's planning department. I have planned some small projects. I have also participated in planning work involving Rongyao Group. My education only goes as far as high school. During my freshman year, something happened at home, so I dropped out. May I ask, if it is not too personal, why you divorced? My ex-wife and I came from vastly different family backgrounds. I did not want to hold her back. If you had to come up with a plan to counter Rongyao World right now, where would you start? I do not think there is any need to target Rongyao World. It is only a low-end brand. Most of its customers are middle-aged or elderly. Rongyao World, is merely a way to save Changxiang department store. A transformation strategy chosen because there was no other option. Rongyao department store mainly relies on gold shops and luxury counters to pull in money. If it tried to copy Rongzhuang World, there would be no point, and the result would not look good. One last question. Why did you leave Changxiang Group? Does living too far away count as a reason? Alright, we will give you an answer by tomorrow night at the latest. We look forward to working with you, Mr. Zhu. When I walked out of the room, I was still in a daze. Just as one foot crossed the doorway, I suddenly turned back and asked a question. Is that Ford Raptor downstairs your company's vehicle? The moment I asked, all three interviewers looked rather awkward. Manager Zhao stood up and said awkwardly, Mr. Zhu, you were not hurt, were you? That vehicle does belong to the company. It is just that, I understand. When I see the owner of that vehicle, I am going to slap her twice. Do not blame me for being rough. She was wearing 8-centimeter heels and nearly sent me flying. I left, leaving the three interviewers staring at one another. They had no idea whether to record that final sentence. It is not her first time driving in high heels, and everyone in the company knows never to cross the plaza around 9 o'clock. You absolutely cannot zone out. You have to use the pedestrian walkway. Manager Zhao sighed. I think he is not bad. We can keep him on and give him a try. After all, the company has a 1-month probation period. It will be written in the contract too. Within 1 month, we can dismiss him without giving a reason. As for him nearly getting hit, let us call it our boss lady's welcome gift. After all, we have all been through it. It has already become a Rongyao group tradition. While waiting for the elevator, my mind was full of lingering fear. I even wondered if this was payback for the divorce. I had barely gotten divorced. Then Chen Nuanqiu gave me a thorough dressing down. After that, Xiao Nuan came back again. This morning, I was nearly killed by a car, and the interview had not gone well either. The elevator opened. With my head full of strange thoughts, I had just taken one step out when I felt something soft press against my chest. Before I could see what was in front of me, I took a heavy punch to the lower stomach. Then a sharp angry curse rang in my ears. Do you not use your eyes when you walk? Trying to take advantage of me? Do you have a death wish? Before her words had even faded, someone grabbed my hair. After being punched and then yanked by the hair, I was furious. I reached out and grabbed the woman's hair too. The woman let out a scream. Her high heels stomped hard onto my shoe. Then came my howl of pain. This time, I finally saw who was in front of me. She was the woman who had nearly run me down earlier. Tell me which department you are from. I am firing you right now. Let go of me. As she spoke, the woman's grip tightened. Since I never claimed to be a gentleman, I showed no mercy either. Through gritted teeth, I snapped. I do not work for your company. You nearly hit me downstairs. I was just wondering where to find you. The chaos drew a crowd. The three interviewers hurried over as well, because those two voices were far too familiar to them. When Manager Zhao from Human Resources saw the scene before her, she froze in shock. Ziyi, let go, quickly. President Liu, you let go too. Let go. The employees are all watching. Ziyi, you let go first. President Liu is a woman. President Liu. I frowned and loosened my grip. But this woman not only refused to let go, she even opened her mouth and lunged at my neck to bite me. Seeing this, Manager Zhao hurriedly tried to talk her down and hold her back. After pleading every way she could, she finally got President Liu to let go. By then, the two of us were a mess, glaring furiously at each other. Ruyan bent down, about to take off her shoe and hurl it at me. Manager Zhao quickly hugged President Liu tight and kept trying to calm her down. Then she signaled for me to leave first. She said she would call later and apologize on President Liu's behalf. I gave a cold snort and walked into the elevator. HMPH. What rotten luck. Ruyan smoothed her hair and said quietly, Manager Zhao, do you know this man? Manager Zhao helped straighten her short skirt and answered softly, President Liu, he came for an interview today. You nearly hit him downstairs just now. I know. Handsome men annoy me on sight. I can only look, but I cannot have them. If I do not send them flying, what am I keeping them around for? He is here for an interview? Tell him to come to work tomorrow. He grabbed my hair and took advantage of me. Just wait and see how I play with you. With that, Ruyan walked off. As she left, she lifted her skirt and tugged at the safety shorts underneath. Everyone was angry, but no one dared say a word. The company was good in every way. It was just this general manager who made people's skin crawl. As soon as I left the company, I received a message saying I had been accepted. It told me I could start work the day after tomorrow, on Monday. All the paperwork could be collected at the front desk, but I could not shake the feeling of a lamb walking into a tiger's den. I could not refuse. Going to Rongyao group was the first step in my plan. It was also the most important step. Only here could I find a chance to put my talents to use. The 3 years I spent living with Nuan shattered every beautiful fantasy I had about women. Why could a woman's room be that messy when she lived alone? Thinking of Nuan, I called my mother-in-law. I asked when the two elders were coming back. The call connected. Hello, Xiaoyi. Your mom is playing mahjong. We are insomnia. Listening to the sound of the mahjong machine over the phone, I felt my blood pressure climb. What a load of nonsense. The old couple simply did not want Nuan going back and disturbing their private couple time. But I truly did not dare send Nuan back. I had to preserve old Wen and my mother-in-law's dignity. I also had to leave Nuan some pride. After all, I was the one who brought up the divorce. Thinking of Nuan, I felt my life grow even darker. Who would have thought that the vice president, rumored to be a clean freak at Chengxiang, was no different from a pig at home? This spoiled young lady taught me what it meant to never lift a finger around the house. The more I say, the sadder it gets. Inside a luxurious villa, Nuanqiu had already left the mahjong table. She left to deal with old Wen, who had let something slip. Old Wen, dressed in casual clothes, frowned. With a mournful expression, he looked at the wife who had oppressed him for years, and sighed. Do you think this is really okay? Could something go wrong? Nuanqiu peeled open a tangerine and handed it to old Wen. Then she frowned and said, between those two kids, there are plenty of twists and turns. I have more or less found out what happened. Besides, has that little ingrate called us and said she wants to come home? She has long been used to having Ziyi serve her, so stop worrying along with her. We have watched Ziyi for 3 years. Do you not know what kind of person he is? I will tell you something in secret. Ziyi is a smoker. Yet for that little ingrate, he did not smoke a single cigarette for 3 whole years. Tell me, what could possibly happen to that little ingrate? Old Wen put down the tangerine. He leaned back, tilted his head, and looked at Nuanqiu. Frowning, he said, so it is fine for Ziyi to smoke. But when I smoke, it is not allowed. Nuanqiu, you have gone too far. So what if I have? Are you going to divorce me? I am in a good mood today. I will allow you to cigarettes. Old Wen received it like an imperial decree. He got up and trotted off to smoke on the balcony with his old friends. In truth, Nuanqiu had called Nuan. As long as she admitted she was wrong, she could get the house key and go home to live there. But that little ingrate did not say a single word. She just hung up. Clearly, she already had someone to rely on. So, what was there to worry about? Nuanqiu returned to the mahjong table. I pushed a cart around the supermarket. I wondered what to cook that night. In the end, I bought a length of pork intestine. I also bought some green beans and mushrooms. When I got home, Nuan had already returned. She had specially bought herself a set of yellow cartoon bear pajamas. She was sitting on the sofa, hugging a bag of chips and watching television. When she saw me standing by the stairs, she put down the chips, tilted her head up, and shouted, Ziyi, I am hungry. I took a deep breath. Then I said softly, are you planning to stay long-term? Nuan nodded hard. I can pay for food and rent. Ziyi, I have been abandoned. I called my mom. She would not answer, and she even texted me to scold me. Let me see the message. I deleted it. Are you trying to use this chance to check my phone? Fine. Look if you want. I am going to the bathroom. Nuan clenched her fist and cried out. Ziteng really is on the blacklist. There was no special reason. Nuan simply did not want that guy making her feel worse. If he likes foreign women, then this lady is done serving him. While I was washing vegetables, Nuan slipped into the kitchen. With her hands behind her back, she curiously looked at the ingredients in the sink. She said quietly, they are all things I like. Were you not afraid I would not come back today? I kept washing the vegetables seriously without turning my head. I replied softly, do you not hate the smell in the kitchen? Why sneak in here? I am not picky. Even if you did not come back, I would eat it all the same. Sigh. Ziyi, you have changed. Men really are fickle. It has only been a few days since the divorce, and you are already this cold to me. Do not forget, your big sister here is still your creditor. Pay me back. Pay me back. You are not picky? Then why did you not buy crab? Xiao Nuan had always bought crab ready-made to eat at home. In the years after we married, she and I only had one real argument. It happened because Xiao Nuan bought crabs and asked me to cook them. I could not bring myself to do it. So I put them in the fish tank and kept them alive. Then the next day, I saw it. Xiao Nuan took those crabs, still lively and kicking, and threw them one by one into a pot of boiling water. After that, my face stayed dark the entire night. I did not make dinner. I did not wash dishes or clean the kitchen either. Xiao Nuan knew she had said the wrong thing. I did not take it to heart. I turned and walked out of the kitchen, just as Xiao Nuan thought I was going on strike again. I came back. There was an extra cup of yogurt in my hand. Go sit on the sofa and drink this. Do not stay here bothering me. After the divorce, I would no longer bow and scrape before Xiao Nuan. Deep down, I had no urge to please women. People are equal. No one stands above or below anyone else, even if you are my creditor now. But Xiao Nuan did not leave. She did not know that while she said I had changed, she had changed too. Maybe the relationship between us had changed. We were no longer husband and wife. Pork intestine taste best with plenty of chili. Have you forgotten nearly dying from pain in bed at 2 in the morning and spending half the night suffering at the hospital? That was in the 2nd year after we got married. During winter, Xiao Nuan loudly demanded boiled fish and chili oil. She wanted the spiciest kind. Then, in the middle of the night, Xiao Nuan was rushed to the hospital. The doctor diagnosed intestinal spasms. The antispasmodic injection did not help. The 4th drip did not help either. In the end, there was nothing else to do. I could only keep making Xiao Nuan drink water. I stayed by her bed all night. Xiao Nuan lay in the hospital bed, whimpering and groaning the entire night. Because Xiao Nuan disturbed the other patient's rest, I almost got into a fight at the hospital. Xiao Nuan remembered it too. Back then, she thought it was only what I should do. Thinking about it now, maybe it had been a small kind of happiness. After all, it had only been a contract marriage. Then put in a little less. Cook it a little longer. Is there soup? Egg drop soup. Young miss, if you have nothing else to do, could you help your humble servant carry the bowls and chopsticks over? Of course, Eunuch Zhu. When Xiao Nuan left the kitchen, I smiled without realizing it. Dinner was 3 dishes and 1 soup. If Xiao Nuan had not been here, I probably would not have cooked at all. At the table, neither Xiao Nuan nor I spoke. We ate quietly. It felt as if we had returned to those 3 years of life together. After dinner, I cleared the dishes. Xiao Nuan took the initiative and washed them. I went back to the sofa. Just as I took out my laptop and prepared to study, Xiao Nuan came over. She had changed into casual clothes. Eunuch Zhu, want to go downstairs for a walk? This princess will give you a chance to escort a beauty. No. Zui. No, I need to read something. Xiao Nuan was furious. She took a deep breath. Then she looked at me with a smile blooming like a flower. In a sweet, coquettish voice, she called, Brother Zhu. I just want to go downstairs for a little walk after dinner. Shut up. HMPH. Hopelessly clueless man. I could not withstand it. Xiao Nuan's attack was pure physical damage, with a little armor-piercing magic mixed in. I raised my hands in surrender. Downstairs, then. Xiao Nuan was beautiful even barefaced. With her striking height and long, slender legs, she turned heads wherever she went. And beside her, I was handsome too. We looked like a handsome, well-matched couple. In an instant, we became the focus of the neighborhood. Countless eyes turned toward us. When we reached the basketball court, Xiao Nuan loudly claimed she could not walk anymore. She said she had to go to the supermarket for water. What do you want to drink? I looked at the supermarket, then glanced back toward my place. Then I shook my head and said, Drink when we get home. Xiao Nuan muttered, Penny pincher. In the end, she jogged off to the supermarket. She did not look unable to walk at all. Left where I was, I looked at the basketball court. I wondered if I should go play for a bit and get some exercise. As luck would have it, a guy ran when he twisted his ankle just then. The whole court was short one player. Everyone's eyes landed on me. One of them asked if I could sub in for a while. Someone else would come replace me soon. I had not touched a basketball in ages, so I was a little rusty. After missing the passes, I was already being looked down on. My pride would not let me slink away like that. I took off my jacket and went back onto the court. After catching the ball, I did not rush to attack. I tried to find my touch. As sweat began to run, My feel for the game got better and better. Layups, threes, steals, assists. Apart from rebounds, I was already at peak form. Just as I was getting a little pleased with myself, the style of the young guys on the court suddenly changed. One by one, they were suddenly fired up, their speed soaring. Someone even started dunking. While I was still confused, I noticed the injured guy, staring fixedly off the court. I turned to look, and saw that Nuan had come back. She was sitting on a chair, holding my phone and talking on a call. My husband does not need house calls. He does not eat snacks. Nuan looked innocent and completely serious. A seductive, syrupy voice came through the phone. Oh, little sister, you have got that wrong. What man does not fool around? Men always think the grass is greener elsewhere. Then he does not go for wildflowers either. Filthy. The other woman fell silent. She seemed to have had her pride wounded by that line. I could hear her breathing deeply, trying to recover. Do not be scared, little sister. Big sister will make him want me. Annie, you are very confident. My husband only likes long legs. As it happens, I am 1.72 meters. What about you, Annie? Are you even over 1.70 meters? The call was cut off. The game ended too. During that final stretch, I was utterly and miserably crushed. Then, under the gaze of everyone on the court, I walked up to that rare beauty. I took a bottle of water from her, tilted my head back, and gulped it down. She was already taken. I paid no attention to what those guys were thinking. Looking at the phone in Nuan's hand, I asked in confusion, was that for me? Nuan smiled and shook her head. Spam call. Watching you get crushed so badly at basketball, I could not bear to keep looking. So I answered the phone to kill time. Well, do you feel old now? All out of stamina? I shrugged, with an absolute stunner standing here. It works far better than any stimulant. Let us go. Soon those guys will start treating me like a romantic rival. The moment I said that, the sound of a bouncing ball came from behind me. The young guy who had dunked several times came up behind me. He said he wanted a one-on-one. I did not refuse. The result was that I got utterly demolished. The guy was thrilled. He thought he would win the goddess's favor. Instead, he saw the goddess covering her mouth and laughing at me. When she looked at him again, her eyes were as cold as frost. Nuan and I left. The people on the court lost all interest in playing. One by one, they sat on the ground utterly deflated. The young guy who had been dunking sighed and said, I am done playing basketball. Wouldn't my time be better spent finding a girlfriend? Everyone nodded in agreement. In a luxury apartment somewhere in the city, a woman stood before the mirror in a fury, gritting her teeth. So, you are 1.73 meters and proud of it. Big sister here is 1.80 meters. Damn it. This measuring tape is wrong. How did it become 1.66? I lay down early. My body and mind were exhausted. The moment I closed my eyes, I fell asleep. Nuan, sleeping in the master bedroom, fiddled with my ancient phone. She looked at the two numbers on it, remembering the other woman's reaction when the call connected. Nuan felt something was wrong no matter how she thought about it. Could Zi have someone on the side? Could it be that before we even divorced, he had already hooked up with her? Even if he cannot exactly say he likes me, how can he have another woman after only 2 days of divorce? The more Nuan thought about it, the angrier she became. She dialed the number. The call connected instantly. Nuan, whose face had looked sour a moment ago, seemed to become a different person at once. She narrowed her eyes with a smile and said, Supervisor Lee, I am so sorry to bother you this late. You are not asleep yet, are you? When the company vice president calls, how could anyone say they were asleep? The other woman quickly repeated, I am still awake. Nuan smiled and continued, I heard that recently your request for annual leave was denied. Is something going on at home? I see. Tomorrow is Saturday, including Sunday. You can take 2 more days off. Will that be enough? Yes, that is enough. Then go to the company tomorrow and hand off your current work. I will approve the leave slip for you then. After chatting for a while, Nuan got to the point. Supervisor Lee, I heard your husband works in telecommunications. I have a number here. Could you help me check it? There is no rush. Just tell me when you have time. I only need to know whose name the SIM card is registered under. After hanging up, Nuan's expression returned to how it had been before. About half an hour later, Supervisor Lee called back. For the sake of her leave, she had driven her husband to the company in the middle of the night to check who owned the number. Unfortunately, the phone number had very high-level access restrictions. They could not find anything. Supervisor Li nervously told Vice President when the truth. Her leave was still approved, but including the weekend, it was only for days. Nuan sat on the bed, looked at the phone number, and muttered softly. This premium number belongs to a high-tier account. The 2 days of the weekend were very ordinary. Nuan went back to how she had been during our marriage. She shut herself in her room, busy with the work in her hands. The committee wanted several companies to bid on a piece of land. It was an old residential district. No matter how the investment department and risk department ran the numbers, it would lose money. Nuan was terrified that this parcel would be forced onto the company by the committee. I could not be bothered with Nuan either. I stayed downstairs, searching for the information I needed. In the afternoons, I worked out a little, but no one would play basketball with me anymore. Those young basketball guys always felt like I had come to show off. Those days felt like years to me. Now I could not afford to waste a single minute. A 4 million yuan debt pressed on me until I could barely breathe. At the same time, it made me feel strangely exhilarated. On Monday morning, Nuan hurried through breakfast and went to work. As she left, she asked if I needed a ride. I shook my head. It is not on your way. My mother-in-law seemed to have truly forgotten her flower-like precious daughter. Not a single call came. Nor had I seen Nuan answer any calls these past 2 days. I was starting to feel confused. It was one thing for my mother-in-law not to call, but that guy overseas had not called once either. Did Nuan really block him? What stunt was this woman pulling now? Little did I know, across the ocean, a grown man was lying on his bed, staring blankly as if life had lost all meaning. He could not understand what Nuan was doing either. How could she block him just like that? He called his assistant. The answer he received was, Nuan and her husband had gone on a second honeymoon. Ziteng nearly choked with rage. Once he returned to China, he would deal with Ziyi first. That low-born nobody had actually beaten him to it. When I arrived at the company again, I had learned my lesson. Crossing the plaza in front of Rongyao Group really could get me run down by that ferocious woman. After 3 years with Nuan, I understood the gap between the rich and the poor. At the same time, I had grown a little wary of beautiful women. A woman who looked polished and glamorous outside might very well be just like Nuan at home. Because Nuan once said 90% of women living alone were more or less like that. That one sentence shattered every beautiful fantasy in my head. I made it safely through Rongyao's front doors. This time, the company's staff had all come to work. Back in a suit, I looked much better. I went to the front desk. I took out my ID and collected my employment contract. After I signed it, the young receptionist placed a piece of candy on the contract. She smiled with narrowed eyes and said, "Welcome to Rongyao Group. This candy is the company's welcome gift. It means forgetting yesterday's bitterness and starting a sweet working life at Rongyao." The young woman's face was round, soft, and adorable. I smiled and was just about to reply, but in the next second, a cold reprimand came from behind me. "Are you all that idle? Is all your work finished? If you have nothing to do, run 20 laps around the company. Do not stand around looking soft and decadent with pot bellies. It damages the company's image." Ziyi turned and leaned against the front desk. He looked at Ruyan as she scolded the staff. She wore a pale yellow bodycon skirt, a pair of 8-centimeter heels, and long wine red hair. No matter how I looked at her, this woman did not seem like a company general manager. She looked more like someone's kept mistress. Gradually, the smile at the corner of Ziyi's mouth faded. Ruyan had already arrived in front of him. I had to admit, this woman was beautiful, seductive, fox-like, stunning enough to ruin a city. Unfortunately, this fox-like beauty had a mouth. "Do you not know what you are supposed to do? If you do not, go clean the toilets. Do not stand here annoying me. Standing at the front desk will not earn you 1 extra cent." This woman must have been on her period. Ziyi held to the idea that a gentleman does not fight with women, and also that he probably could not beat her anyway. So he turned to leave. But after just 1 step, Ruyan grabbed his arm. She snatched the contract from his hand and glanced at it. Then, toward the receptionist, she unleashed a storm of scolding. The young woman did not even know what she had done wrong. She lowered her head, eyes red, not daring to argue. "Planning department. Who said Ziyi was going to the planning department? How many times have I told you? General Affairs Department, General Affairs Department. Ziyi, report to the General Affairs Department. The contract will be delivered to you in a bit. Now stop standing here annoying me." I am in a very bad mood today. Only 1% of Liu Ryan's bad mood was because of Ziyi. The other 99% was because of the land the authorities had put out for tender. Whoever took that land would lose money. What Liu Ryan feared most was a loss. Ziyi took a deep breath. President Liu, I applied for a job in the planning department. Now you are sending me to General Affairs. General Affairs pays 1,000 more than planning. The bonus stays the same. Understood, President Liu. Your skirt is about to ride up. Please, I am wearing safety shorts. Get lost. I had meant to embarrass this woman a little. Who knew she would be this fierce? After Ziyi left, Liu Ryan's temper seemed to improve. After venting, she felt much better. She tapped the front desk and said coldly, "Why are you crying? Does crying help?" If it did, I could cry for a month. Go to finance and collect a 200 yuan bonus. You get 2 hours off. Do not let it delay your work. The young woman smiled through her tears. This was why Liu Ryan dared to lose her temper at the company, without making the employees hate her. When someone made a mistake, she would scold them without mercy. But after the scolding, she would find a way to soothe them again. The company described President Liu as sharp-tongued but soft-hearted. A young woman in her 20s was managing the company under enormous pressure. It was impressive she had not broken down, yet she still thought about improving their benefits. When Liu Ryan stepped into the elevator, she sighed. What should I do? After arriving at the General Affairs Department, I ran into no trouble. The supervisor was a woman around 35 or 36. Her surname was Yang, and she had a gentle temperament. There were about 12 or 13 staff members. Most were around Ziyi's age. The deputy supervisor was older, about 40. He was a greasy middle-aged man. All morning, Ziyi observed the atmosphere in General Affairs. It was dead quiet, almost comically idle. Almost nobody was actually working. Occasionally, someone printed a few documents and delivered them to another department. After that, there was nothing else to do. Some watched movies, some played games, but none of this made Ziyi feel relaxed or comfortable. Right now, he had no right to enjoy such ease. He wanted to join the planning department. Only in planning could he find an opportunity. The planning department was like a battlefield. This place felt like a retirement home. At last, noon came. They did not seem to have any intention of going to lunch. Ziyi stood up and quietly asked the co-worker beside him, "How do people handle lunch here? If you are hungry, let us go together." I did not feel like going alone anyway. This co-worker seemed easy to talk to. The two of them left General Affairs. On the way to the first-floor cafeteria, they chatted briefly and got acquainted. The young man was named Su Liang. He was a few months younger than Ziyi. He had only been with the company for 2 months. He was not clear on what General Affairs was actually supposed to do. Printing a few documents each day counted as work. But Sister Yang was busy every day. No one knew what she was so busy with. In the cafeteria, they ran into Manager Zhao from HR. The two of them greeted her with smiles. Rongyao's food was not bad. Ziyi ordered a rice meal. Su Liang ordered a bowl of beef noodles. Just as they were about to pick up their chopsticks, Manager Zhao came over with 2 bottles of juice. She placed the juice in front of Ziyi. Looking slightly embarrassed, Manager Zhao asked, "Ziyi, President Liu is actually a very good person. I heard you were transferred to General Affairs. I feel quite bad about it. The contract I gave you was for the planning department. But General Affairs is good too. It is a department President Liu set up after joining the company. When there is no work, it is very relaxed. But once it gets busy, the tasks are never small. If you do not want to stay there, I can transfer you to planning in a few days." Ziyi smiled faintly and said, "It would be best if I could go to planning. If I cannot, I will not force it. President Liu personally ordered me to General Affairs this morning. I could not exactly refuse, could I? I just want to work hard while I am still young, and learn as much as I can. If it is possible, I will have to trouble you, Manager Zhao." Manager Zhao smiled and shook her head. "It is fine. This is part of my job too. Then go ahead and eat. I still have some things to handle." What could she have to do at noon? Ziyi smiled and nodded. He stood and saw Manager Zhao off. When he sat down again, Su Liang looked at the 2 bottles of juice on the table and said softly, "Brother Yi does not like being in General Affairs. Life here is easy. The pay is even higher than in other departments. Why go suffer in planning? If you do not want to say, forget I asked. I am not that interested anyway. I just wanted to know what misunderstanding you had with President Liu. Heh, heh. When I first came to the company, I did not know my way around. President Liu nearly ran me down. I did not know who she was at the time, so we had a huge argument. As soon as I finished, Su Liang's expression changed. He leaned forward slightly and whispered, "A few days ago, someone got into a fight with President Liu by the elevator. I heard he even pulled President Liu's hair." Brother Yi, that was not you, was it? If you mean what happened on Friday, then yes, that was probably me. Enough gossip. Eat. Brother Yi, you are a true hero. After adding that, Su Liang lowered his head and ate his noodles. From the look of him, he did not seem worried about being dragged into it at all. I could not tell whether he was just carefree or simply easygoing. But Zuyi could no longer smile. It suddenly occurred to him that Manager Zhao from HR had come over just now. Was she helping President Liu fish for information? If so, he was in trouble. Liu Ryan would never let him go to planning. In fact, Ziyi had guessed exactly right. After Manager Zhao left the cafeteria, she jogged all the way to the general manager's office on the 14th floor. Standing outside the door, she took a deep breath and pushed it open. Before she could get out a second word, a folder came flying at her. It skimmed past Manager Zhao's slender waist. Manager Zhao froze in place, too frightened to move. Liu Ryan's eyes burned with anger. Through gritted teeth, she snapped, "The planning department is full of useless trash. This is the proposal they gave me? Do they think everyone else is stupid? As long as this project is quietly assigned to us, Zhangxiang will ruin us during the bidding." What the hell are they building? A lousy little commercial building. Who is going to shop on that pedestrian street? Are people supposed to watch planes take off while they shop? Manager Zhao picked up the documents from the floor and returned them to the desk. Then she backed 5 or 6 steps away, then stood at a distance. Liu Ryan sighed. She made a phone call. It would have been better if she had not called. After hearing the result, she fell apart even more. Vice President Wen of Changxiang had used her family connections to settle the matter. Changxiang would not be the fall guy. So now it was Rongyao's turn. There were only 2 major real estate companies in the city. The authorities would never go after the smaller firms, and the smaller firms would never touch this hot potato. All the strength drained out of Liu Ryan. She rested her chin on the desk and looked pitifully at Manager Zhao. "Sister Zhao, what should I do? All that is missing now is an imperial decree ordering Rongyao to take this hot potato. This deal is definitely going to lose money. Forget it. There is no point asking you." Manager Zhao smiled awkwardly. Lowering her head, she said softly, "President Liu, projects and planning are not my strengths. You should ask Vice President Kang Dao. He would love nothing more than to see me step down sooner." "Right. What happened with Ziyi? The thing I asked you to check. I stuck him in general affairs, and I do feel a little bad about it." Liu Ryan seemed to have no strength left at all. Even her voice sounded weak. Manager Zhao thought back to how Ziyi had looked earlier and replied softly, "I looked into him. His educational credentials are fake. He slipped into Changxiang Group, and in less than a year, he made a small name for himself in Changxiang's planning department. Later, it seems he became someone's personal advisor. He still wants to go to planning, but not desperately. He has a maturity beyond his age. Planning department. Right now, I want to burn the whole planning department down. Ugh. Does he understand planning? From the interview, he seemed to know a little." "Got it. Go get back to work. Tell Xiao Yangjia to notify the people in planning and have them bring me another proposal. The project department had better give me an answer soon too. If they cannot produce anything, none of them are going home. Remember to prepare dinner for them." Manager Zhao nodded and agreed. Then she left the general manager's office in quick, tiny steps. After lunch, Ziyi was just about to rest for a while when a crisp voice startled him awake. He looked up and saw a deadpan petite girl in professional attire, bounding into the general affairs department. She seemed familiar with everyone there. The people playing games closed their games. Some female co-workers even brought out snacks. Unfortunately, the deadpan petite girl did not get to show off for long. One dry cough from Sister Yang scared her into behaving at once. She hugged the arm of Yang Lan, head of general affairs, and called out affectionately, "Sis." Yang Lan was somewhat helpless with this younger sister of hers. She said warily, "Why are you not with President Liu? Why did you sneak over here again? Careful, or President Li will deal with you. Xiao Yangjia wrinkled her nose and argued. I did not sneak over. President Li will not scold me. I still have to help her block all those unwanted suitors. Sis, which one is Zuyi? President Liu sent me to find him. At those words, everyone's gaze landed on Zuyi. The corner of Zuyi's eye twitched. He truly had not expected that woman's revenge should come this quickly. Su Liang leaned over a nearby desk and whispered, Brother Yi, will we still see you come back alive? I see you have a good pack of cigarettes in your pocket. Zuyi smiled and teased him. To his surprise, Su Liang shoved the cigarette straight into Zuyi's hand. Clutching his stomach with laughter, he said, Consider this your farewell gift, brother. As they spoke, the deadpan petite girl, Xiao Yangjia, moved close to Zuyi and looked him up and down carefully. Then she turned to Yang Lan and smiled with narrowed eyes. So he is Zuyi? He is actually pretty handsome. No wonder he fought President Liu and still got hired. Zuyi, your sister Yang calls you the strongest. Go on, go on. The innermost office on the 14th floor belongs to President Liu. Zuyi looked at the petite girl and smiled with a frown. You are not going? Xiao Yangjia smiled with narrowed eyes. Big sister Yang only acts when you are in real trouble. Now you are in trouble. But I am hungry. Then stay hungry. Zuyi stood up. He ignored Xiao Yangjia, who had clearly come to extort snacks from him, and smiled at Yang Lan. I will be back soon. Department head Yang smiled and nodded. But when she turned to look at her own younger sister, her smile vanished. She grabbed Xiao Yangjia by the ear and hauled her into her office. On the way to President Liu's office, Zuyi smoked a cigarette. He had no idea what had gotten into that wild woman, Liu Ruyan. Whatever it was, he had to endure it. Rongyao was his only chance. He knocked on the general manager's office door. After Liu Ruyan's voice sounded from inside, Zuyi pushed the door open and walked in. He said softly, President Liu, you asked for me? At that moment, Liu Ruyan was still slumped over her desk. She rolled her eyes weakly and spoke in a drained voice. I didn't ask for you. Would anyone else have let you into my office? I will not hide it from you. You laid hands on me and pulled my hair. So yes, I am going to torment you. If you cannot take it, get out. I will pay you 3 times your wages. If you can accept it, clean this office. It is part of General Affairs' job. All right, President Liu. I will get the mop and rags now. Zuyi accepted it calmly. That made Liu Ruyan feel she could not read him at all. She watched Zuyi mop the floor with her own eyes and clean up the fruit peels on the coffee table. After watching for a while, Liu Ruyan grew bored. She lowered her head and read the files each department had submitted about the land. The more she read, the angrier she became. She realized she had been keeping a whole pack of fools on payroll. Build them all and try to outdo an old department store. Were they blind or were they deaf? Did they not know Rongyao department store was already downtown? Some even suggested building a market. The small commodities market was right across the street. It was painful to look at. Worse, someone suggested an Art style store. They simply had no brain at all. A piercing shriek made Zuyi shudder in fright. Then he saw that woman throw every file on the desk to the floor, along with the high heels on her feet. Zuyi took a deep breath. He lowered his head and kept cleaning. On the surface, he showed no reaction. Inside, though, he had started questioning his life. Was he destined to be a house husband in this life? He had been married for 3 years, and had done it for 3 years. After the divorce, he thought he was free. Then when Nuan came back, he thought going to work would let him do something serious. In the end, he was still cleaning up and serving women. Zuyi became firmly convinced that he must have offended many women in a past life. He straightened the files and placed them back on the desk. Liu Ruyan shoved them to the floor again. Zuyi took a deep breath. He picked them up again, but Liu Ruyan knocked them down once more. Seeing that, Liu Ruyan flew into a rage. Zuyi stopped caring. He stuffed all the files into the trash can, along with Liu Ruyan's pair of shoes. Then he started mopping the floor. Zuyi, are you insane? You threw away my shoes. Carry me home. I cannot carry you. Does General Affairs also have a duty to carry the general manager home? I have raised a pile of useless trash. That does not include me. Zuyi, do you think I will not fire you? President Liu, did you think I applied to be a housekeeper? Even a pushover has a temper. Besides, Zuyi was already completely immune to beautiful women. All of that was thanks to Wen Nuan. Young Miss Wen. Ruyan was so furious she breathed in great heaves. The phone in her hand was one digit away from dialing the HR department. Her full chest rose and fell. Unfortunately, Z had his back to her and could not see the spectacular sight. If he had seen it, Z would have felt heartache for Wen Nuan. How could the difference be so huge? Cleaning the office took half an hour. As he prepared to take out the trash, he asked, "President Liu, should I throw these proposals away? Can I go back to general affairs now?" "Go wherever you want. Just looking at you annoys me." Ruyan snapped back irritably. Just as Ziyi walked out of the office, Ruyan started cursing. "Ziyi, you bastard! Bring my shoes back." Ziyi froze for a second. He looked at the shoes in the wastebasket, and his expression turned a little awkward. He had forgotten about the shoes. He carried the wastebasket back into the office. Holding the pair of shoes, he scratched his head awkwardly. "Well, President Liu, I will put them here for you." Ruyan stood up. Barefoot, she stepped across the floor tiles. Ziyi frowned when he saw it, but said nothing. He was not inviting that trouble. Ruyan walked past Ziyi, snatched the shoes from him, and tossed them aside. Then she lifted her head and looked at him. Ruyan had no options left. Her fox-like eyes held grievance and unwillingness. "Ziyi, help me." Ziyi was slightly stunned. He lowered his head and looked at the wastebasket in his hand. He had more or less guessed what this was about. He took a deep breath and asked softly, "Might as well try anything at this point." Ruyan nodded honestly. "I cannot think of anyone else. The planning department and project department have tried everything. I do not expect anything from general affairs. If this fails, I have no way out. I don't come cheap. Pay with your body. In my eyes, you're worth no more than cash. I need money badly. I wanted to join the planning department because I need money. How much can you give me? I heard from Manager Zhao in the HR department that you interviewed at Rongyao for the planning department. You understand planning, right? If you can guarantee your proposal will not lose money and get it approved at the senior management meeting, I will pay you 200,000 yuan. Give me time. 1 week at most." "There is no time. You only have 2 days. Double it." "Fine. No one loses." Ruyan was no fool. If the proposal failed, Ziyi would not receive a single cent. She had also seen what he was capable of. Even if he did nothing now, going back to general affairs only meant 2 days of playing games. Women were born actors, especially when playing the weak one. And for Ziyi, it was no loss either. He was simply earning money with his ability. That had been his plan in coming to Rongyao. Only in this place would he have the chance to find problems and then solve them. Ziyi left. He left the wastebasket and Ruyan behind. Right now, all he wanted was money. He had been gone for more than half an hour. The people in general affairs had already started guessing who this man who had suddenly appeared really was. Some asked Xiao Yangjia for information. Others silently smeared him in their hearts. Ruyan must have been feeling romantically tempted and taken a fancy to that slick pretty boy. That was how different people's hearts could be. Of course, they only dared think it in their hearts. After all, it was just sour grapes. Besides, Ruyan often dressed in a strikingly seductive way. Forget that nonsense about people being born good. Dirty thoughts were inborn. Yang Lan also curiously asked Xiao Yangjia about Ziyi. How had he, on his very first day at work, been called into President Liu's office? And this man had started work before completing the onboarding paperwork. Gossip was in a woman's nature, especially with Xiao Yangjia, the queen of gossip, right there. She had already dug up everything about Ziyi. She glanced around furtively, then lowered her voice and whispered, "Sis, this Ziyi is not as honest as he looks. I heard that on Friday, the day of his interview, he actually got into a fight with President Liu. They fought so hard no one could pull them apart. He fought President Liu." The corner of Yang Lan's eye twitched. This was hardly a secret in the company. People had been guessing since Friday. Who had dared to fight the office demon queen? The image that flashed through Yang Lan's mind made her rub her forehead. The peaceful, quiet General Affairs Department seemed to have picked up someone who was anything but quiet. While the two sisters were gossiping, someone knocked on the half-closed office door. "Sister Yang, President Liu wants her secretary to report back at once. Something has come up." Ziyi had returned. Xiao Yangjia no longer dared keep slacking off in general affairs. She got up and hurried off at a trot. As she left, she did not forget to swipe some snacks from general affairs. The young woman was not tall, but her appetite for snacks was not small. Then Ziyi thought of when Nuan. He pictured her curled on the sofa, clutching snacks and eating. What he found hardest to tolerate was someone eating in bed, or nesting on the sofa with snacks, scattering crumbs all over the floor. He sat in his chair, lost in thought. It seemed he had forgotten to ask Liu Ruyan for the materials. Did he have to go back again? Thinking of Liu Ruyan's sharp mouth, Ziyi shuddered. Better wait a little. He would ask Xiao Yangjia once she was done. If that did not work, he would go to gentle sister Yuan. While Ziyi was spacing out, Su Liang dragged his chair over beside him and asked in a low voice, Brother Yi, did you make it back safely? Did President Liu drag you off to settle Friday's score? Ziyi reached out and pressed down on Su Liang's head, laughing as he scolded. How are you even more gossipy than the women? You actually guessed right. President Liu really did call me over for revenge. I cleaned up her office, and then she dumped a pile of work on me. If I had known she was the boss, I would never have fought her, right? Come on, Brother Yi. Do not get the better deal and still act innocent. President Liu's temper may be just a little fierce, but she is a true goddess. Plenty of people would rather get scolded just for one more look at President Liu. Next time, if you do not want me to go, I won't. Su Liang wore a lecherous grin. Ziyi's eyes lit up as he looked at him. He said seriously, You said it, no take-backs. I heard President Liu wore a short skirt and high heels today. You are into that? I would take a whipping for it. Su Liang's lewd expression left Ziyi deeply helpless. At that moment, the young woman sitting across from them muttered, Pervert. So Su Liang abandoned Ziyi and went to argue with her about perversion and love. His instantly friendly nature made Ziyi feel rather at ease. A friendship was fine as long as it was not exhausting. He had no energy to scheme back and forth with people. Then a burst of hurried footsteps came from the doorway. Xiao Yangjia was back. She held more than 20 folders in her arms. When the guys in General Affairs saw a chance to flatter Xiao Yangjia, they rushed forward to help, only to be kicked away one after another. I am still a child. Do not try to take advantage of me. As she spoke, she carried the stack of documents over to Ziyi's side and slammed it onto the desk with a bang. Ziyi leaned back, looking at the documents in front of him. The corner of his mouth twitched. Xiao Yangjia pulled a canned drink from her pocket and placed it on the desk too. Panting, she said, President Liu told me to give you all these materials. She also told me to bring you coffee. I am very poor, so I went to the marketing department and swiped you a drink. Do not tell President Liu. Seeing the deadpan petite girl threaten him with a clenched fist, Ziyi smiled. He tossed the drink back to her. Little Secretary Yang, thanks for the hard work. Consider this your reward. Yangjia accepted the drink without the slightest courtesy. Only then did she remember Ziyi calling her little secretary. She flew into a rage at once. Puffing out her small chest, she snapped in a sweet, sharp voice. What's little about me? Ziyi pinched his chin, pretending to ponder as he looked at Yangjia. TSK, TSK, TSK. You're still young. Sis, Ziyi is bullying me. Xiao Yangjia slipped into character in a second. Tears looked ready to fall at any moment. This time, Ziyi panicked. He hurried to his feet. Apologizing felt wrong. But not apologizing felt wrong too. Just then, Yang Lan walked out of the office. She knocked her younger sister on the head. Then she smiled at Ziyi and said, She is my biological younger sister. She often comes to General Affairs to slack off. She likes messing around. Ziyi, do not take her nonsense seriously. So they were real sisters. Gentle, warm sister Yang somehow had such a mischievous younger sister. Ziyi scratched his head. When he turned, he saw his co-workers all secretly laughing. Ziyi grew even more embarrassed. Scratching his head again, he said softly, It was still my fault. I should not have teased Yangjia. Yan Lan shook her head. She smiled gently. We are all co-workers now. We will keep running into each other every day. No need to be so formal. President Liu also called me just now. She said she wants to see results by Thursday. If there is anything you do not understand, you can ask me. All right, Sister Yang. Ziyi had suddenly been given real work. That made the other General Affairs employees unhappy. And it was work personally assigned by President Liu. If everyone was going to coast, they should coast together. If he suddenly started working, it made the rest of them look even more idle. No department manager would like the look of that. No one wanted to work. And they did not want to see Ziyi working either. A newcomer had to follow the rules here, trying to set a new standard and please the boss on day one. Ziyi did not know what they were thinking. He was not like them. Their salaries were enough to cover their lives. Perhaps a few of them did not need to work at all. Ziyi truly needed money. Right now, when Nuan seemed easy to talk to. But as time went on, what if Ziteng came back and whispered poison in her ear? People have feelings. They could all waver. He took a deep breath. Then he found the most basic materials to see what kind of problem this was. That had wiped out every planning proposal. He read for the entire afternoon. Only when Su Liang called out that it was time to clock out, did Ziyi realize it was already 5 o'clock. It was time to pack up and go home. As Ziyi organized the documents to take them home, Su Liang suddenly grinned and threw an arm around his shoulder. He laughed softly and said, "Brother Yi, do not work so hard. Not everyone likes seeing someone put in effort." Ziyi was slightly stunned. Then he immediately understood what Su Liang meant. He drew in a deep breath. With a self-mocking smile, he said, "Liang, if you knew the pressure I am under, maybe you would understand me. I am not trying to make anyone compete in the rat race." Su Liang still wore that carefree, cynical smile. "Everyone has their own life, but you should still keep your guard up. This is a difficult matter. You have been frowning all afternoon. If you need help, I do." "Heh. Brother Yi, I was just being polite. Maybe they just clicked, or maybe Ziyi had gone too long without making friends. Only, the sight of them with arms around each other's shoulders made other people uncomfortable, especially some of the men. In their eyes, Su Liang was just a tail-wagging lapdog. "Ziyi, come back quickly. I am starving." Just as Ziyi was about to work overtime, when Nuan called, he had forgotten there was still another mouth at home waiting to be fed. A habit built over 3 years made Ziyi give up work and go home. Some things could still be done after he got home. He quietly told Su Liang, "Tomorrow we will do it together." He squeezed onto the bus and started the trip home. On the way, he thought there should still be leftovers from yesterday. He could heat them up and make do for dinner. Then he immediately questioned that idea. Would Nuan agree to that? Wait, we are already divorced. Why should I care what she thinks? His heart fought itself the whole way back. In the end, he decided not to buy groceries and went straight home. When he opened the door, he saw Nuan curled up on the sofa, eating chips. Dark lines practically appeared on Ziyi's forehead. Was this what starving to death looked like? When Nuan saw Ziyi too, she hurriedly hid the chips. Kneeling on the sofa, she shouted that she was hungry. She even threatened to call her former mother-in-law and say Ziyi was mistreating her. Ziyi took a deep breath. "My first day at work was pretty busy. I am not used to it yet. You had better not call my mom." A few days ago, she was still asking whether we were going back for New Year this year. "If she finds out we are divorced, you will probably be fine. But I might die." "Oh, New Year is still months away. Stop nagging. I am starving to death. I bought the groceries. They are in the kitchen. Hurry up and go. If you do not go, I will tell Mom that you were the one who asked for the divorce." When Nuan still hadn't switched to calling her Annie, Ziyi did not take it to heart. He walked into the kitchen and started making dinner. Looking at the groceries dumped on the counter, Ziyi felt a little dazed. He could not help grinning. They were almost all things he liked to eat. He did not know whether Nuan had stumbled into it or done it on purpose. As Ziyi busied himself cooking, he suddenly remembered the work Ruyan had given him. He could not help asking, "Xiao Nuan, I heard that near the airport, where the old and new districts meet, there is a plot of land set for redevelopment. Did Shangxiang bid on it?" "It is not really a bid. They are choosing from several city companies to find one sucker to take it on. No matter what you do with that land, it will lose money." Someone on the board. The board used its connections. Shangxiang is only there to make up the numbers. "Why? Is your new company involved too?" At some point, when Nuan had appeared in the kitchen doorway, leaning against the frame, she tilted her head and watched Ziyi cook. When she suddenly spoke, Ziyi jumped. He turned around and frowned. "What are you doing here?" "I do not know whether it is actually involved. I just heard my co-workers talking about it, so I was curious and asked." "It will definitely lose money. The airport is used to train novice pilots. There is no way they will move it. It is that old residential district across from Decoration City. Sometimes the planes train at night. The residents and the airport have been locked in a nasty dispute. The authorities cannot handle the relocation either. But they do not want to take the loss themselves. So they are looking for some sucker to take it on. Zi put down the kitchen knife. He turned around with a frown. So that is what this is. Modern homes have decent soundproofing now. But people these days all want elevators. The buildings cannot be taller than they are now. And this location is not suited for low-rise garden apartments. Traffic will jam up in the morning. Picking up kids would be a hassle. Across the road are Decoration City, the small commodities market, and the bus terminal. Not far beyond that are T-Mart and Kaifu Street. It really does seem like anything built there would lose money. Who covers the demolition compensation? Cook first. I am hungry. When Nuan raised her fist, threatening Zi, he quickly turned back to make dinner. Then when Nuan went on, the authorities are responsible for that payment. But the land itself has to be bought. They call it an auction. But before the bidding starts, someone will probably receive instructions. Whoever gets it is just going through the motions. After all these years, the authorities have always made things easier for our major groups. No one can easily refuse. That place cannot become a residential complex. A mall will not work either. Too few floors, and it looks too small. Too many floors, and the airport will object. It is a complete mess. Honestly, I hope Rongyao takes it. Then they will have no energy left to compete with Changxiang. As Zi focused on stir-frying, he began to understand the outline. It seemed Ruyan already knew. This disaster of a project would land on Rongyao's head. For 100,000 yuan for today's. If it loses money, how much could it lose? If the land is not developed within 5 years, it will be taken back. The authorities will force them to build, no matter what they make. Once you count the land and the project they build, it will be about the same as what you owe me. I meant the loss. Actually, the main issue is reputation. Stop thinking about useless things like that. Think about how you are going to pay me back first. Every time I think about you divorcing me, I get angry. Tonight, I want 4 dishes and 8 side plates. There are eggshells. Do you want those? Zi ignored when Nuan. During dinner, his foot was stepped on more than a dozen times. Zi did not take it seriously. After dinner, he washed the dishes. When Nuan stormed upstairs in a huff, Zi could not understand it. Why was she suddenly angry? He had not even provoked her. Since he could not figure it out, he stopped thinking about it. After finishing the housework, Zi also went back to the 2nd floor. He continued reading the documents in his hands. There was no need to rush into the proposal yet. He needed to start with the city itself. He could not limit his view to that one piece of land. As he worked, the door was pushed open. When Nuan, dressed in pajamas, suddenly pounced on Zi, she hit and bit him. Only after she pinned Zi beneath her and declared victory did she leave with a smug look on her face. She also took Zi's phone with her. Then she told Zi bluntly, even divorce has a cooling off period. I blocked Ziteng. So, you had better behave too. If you dare flirt with another woman behind my back, then pay me back right now. Zi looked at when Nuan like life had lost all meaning inside. Only an idiot would choose a man carrying a 4 million yuan debt. Besides, I do not even have WeChat. Who could I flirt with? The only QQ account I had was cancelled by you. When Nuan, come here. We need to talk. You beat me up without even asking what was going on. Come here. Seeing that Zi was about to get up, when Nuan quickly used Zi's phone to dial a number. Just as Zi stood up, when Nuan shouted, Mom, Zi is going to hit me. Now things had blown up. Zi never imagined when Nuan would actually call his mother. He set aside all the work in his hands and explained to Mom over the phone that he and when Nuan were only messing around. He had never meant to lay a hand on her. The phone was snatched away by the old man. Without hearing another word, he gave Zi a furious scolding. The old man had never achieved much in life, but he had one good point. He had never made Mom cook, and he had never lost his temper with her. When he heard Zi was going to hit his wife, the old man could not tolerate it. In the end, Zi had to beg Wen Nuan to testify for him. Only then was the matter settled. Mom issued an order. The two of them had to come home for New Year this year. The old couple would not trouble themselves by coming to them. If the children did not come home, it would not feel like New Year at all. The call ended. Zi lay on the tatami platform, staring weakly at the ceiling as he said, Forget it. Fine. Now they want both of us home for New Year. If you do not go, Mom will keep digging for answers. If she finds out we are divorced, Your home base will basically be gone. When Nuan sat cross-legged beside Ziyi, she curled her lip and said with disdain, "Look how pathetic you are. What does my going back for New Year to see Mom have to do with you? Mom treats me much better than Chen Nuanqiu does. Go on, go. Go take a shower. You are not sleeping with me tonight anyway. Why should I wash?" When Nuan, are you part dog? Let go. While when Nuan and Ziyi were fooling around, Ziteng had already boarded the flight back to China. He could not wait any longer.